Are you ready for the weekend?
Weekends on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Weekends on UMERADIO. The sun is up and so are we. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME Radio.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.
Love built us, woven through each of our chakras, its home base, strength of family, breathing life into community. We're not topsoil. Our roots run deep in ancestry. Heal your mind and tell your story. Welcome to Weekends with Jessie. I'm Jessie, and coming up on today, in our show today, we will be talking about what it's been like as a first-generation migrant. We have a special feature, funding Black education, and we also have, last but not least, our community health check. So let's get right into it today. So here is a little story, my story, and I hope you continue this journey with me as I learn more about my own history and as ours as a community. To our viewers who don't know me or have not seen my face, my name's long, Jesseline Abel, but you guys can call me Jessie for short. And I want to share with you guys a little bit about myself and my journey. And the journey doesn't just stop with today. Yes, you can look forward to learning a little bit more about me. I want my viewers to get to know me as Jessie. So my parents come from Guyana. It is a country in South America, though we are culturally we're culturally the same as the Caribbean. It's the only English-speaking country in South America. And I actually went to visit about 5-6 years ago. I went to visit the country, and it brought a little bit of a missing piece as a first generation born American. And I say that to our first generation born Americans. If you guys are listening, if you guys are watching, you're kind of stuck in between two worlds, because at home you're raised in the culture that your parents come from, but at school, and everyone looks at you, you're American. But you don't feel American because you have your culture. You feel more connected to the Caribbean culture, but then you're not born or raised in the Caribbean, so you don't feel 100% that, even though you recognize it and you celebrate it and live it. So you're very much in two separate worlds in one person, if that makes any sense. And then as being firstborn, on top of that, knowing the struggles, the trials and tribulations that your parents went through as a child growing up, and then being a migrant and coming to America for the first time. And if you're a child of migrants, you know that they want you to do the best that you can, and you want to make them proud. And a lot of that holds on to that firstborn, you know. Now, if you got more than one kid, eventually, I think personally, I'm not a parent, but I've seen it, and my friends and I've talked about it. The more you have, eventually the parents realize, okay, did this for number one, okay, I could calm down, number two a little bit. But then as you have more, they end up just being like, oh yeah, okay, whatever, like it's fine. But like, even though that culture is still there, it becomes a little bit slowly more and more, I don't want to say Americanized, I guess. But I'm just the firstborn. My parents just have two children, me and my brother. Little story about that. But yeah, that is that's how I feel about being a firstborn and firstborn of migrants. My mom is from the city in Georgetown, and my dad is from the country. If he watches this, is going to get me wrong. I'm going to say supply, or probably another village. I think it's Supply. But they made that during a time when I think it's still like this in the United States, where they had a family member in America that sent for them. And they sent for their mothers. So my grandmothers, and my grandmothers, because they had kids and they were young, then were able to bring their kids over. So that is what happened. I do know that their siblings, at least on my dad's side, that for various reasons were able to go to a different country like Canada or England and stuff like that. But as regards to my mom and dad, family members that were here in America that migrated first, then sent for my grandmothers, who then took my parents over. So we are going to then go into our special feature of the day, which is funding Black education. And we have a special guest today, Dr. Remicia Mcgee. But first, let's go to the clip. Our special feature for today, funding Black education. Now, even as the cost of college continues to rise, with student debt levels climbing along with it, Pew Research claims that the long-term financial benefits of a 4-year college degree remain indisputable. Adults who have attained at least a bachelor's degree have better economic outcomes on average than adults who have not completed college. Now, I do want to really preface and state that there are many other avenues to developing your education. There's nothing wrong with going to a trade school like hair or carpentry or plumbing and mastering a skill and then developing a business around that, But however, a lot of students face insurmountable financial challenges preventing them from accessing the training and education they need to set themselves up for financial freedom. And for those who seek funding through student loans, the outcome can be sometimes worse. Just CNBC.com reported that at the end of 2009, Americans held roughly $772 billion. By the end of 2019, that total has spiked to nearly $1.6 trillion with a T dollars. That's an increase of roughly 107%. Let me share with you some facts by Pew Research on student loans. 1, about 1/3 of adults under age 30 have student loan debt. In 2016, the amount of students owed varied widely. Let me say that again. In 2016, the amount students owed varied widely, especially by degree attained. Young college graduates with student loans are more likely than those without loans to report struggling financially. Young college students with student loans are more likely to live in a higher income family than those without a bachelor's degree. And number 5, compared with young adults who don't have student debt, student loan holders are less upbeat about the value of their degree. So, why are we talking about this? USnews.com shared an article titled 20 Years of Tuition Growth at National Universities. Colleges' costs have been on a mostly upward trend for the last 2 decades. In addition to a high tuition prices, paying for housing, food, transportation, books, and other school-related fees can add thousands of dollars to college expenses. In order for us to win at this game, we have to find alternatives, like I told you guys, that will produce positive outcomes for us. So today we will be speaking with a woman with a plan and a solution to this problem. You have seen her before on previous episodes. If you haven't, if she's new to you, this is Dr. Remicia McGhee. She was born and raised on the west side of Chicago. She received her BA from the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater in broadcast journalism with a minor in race and ethnic cultures. She then earned her master's in journalism from Roosevelt University in Chicago, Illinois. Lastly, she received her educational doctorate in educational leadership management from Capella University. She is also an alum of Public Ally Chicago and AmeriCorps program before relocating to Oregon and accepting an English faculty position, go girl, at Lynden Benton Community College, LBCC, in 2017. She worked as an adjunct English professor at the City Colleges of Chicago, a writing consultant at Truman College, and served as the tutoring center coordinator for ESL and ELL students at Truman College. Now, in honor of her mother, she started a Second Chance Opportunity Scholarship Award, and today she will be talking with us about the first awards. But before she comes on, let me give you a couple of updates according to her website. If you guys want to check her website out, it is www.drramicia.org. That's www.drramycia.org. So it states, hello donors, I want to first thank you for all of your generosity. It has almost been a year since the Valencia Cooper Second Scholarship Award was launched, and in that year, we have raised a total of $2,650, and that's all thanks to you.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, Dr. Remicia McGhee. How are you today?
I'm well. How are you, lady?
I'm good. I first want to say for our viewers and listeners, we have listeners as well that may not be able to see you. Okay, so she has awesome glasses on right now. Super. I love it. I'm a glasses wearer. I got contacts now. It's okay.
It's so
and
early.
Christmas
it's
is
early
up.
here.
I know. And Christmas tree is up. It's so nice and pretty. So I want to first by saying congratulations are in order. Congrats with your scholarship. Please tell us about the accomplishments of the scholarship program, how many applications we received, how many donors were there.
So, first of all, thank you again for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm always honored to come back to this wonderful platform. So, I just want to start off with what recently happened. On Tuesday, we know it's known as Giving Tuesday. And I was very thrilled. My goal was to raise $1,000. I fell a little bit short, about $350 short, but we raised what we could. And I was super excited because I let the debt in my mind. I was like, Giving Tuesday is going to be a couple weeks. And I had it all planned. And then I remember like, oh my God, we got to get out here. I told my social media coordinator to let's get on top of it, who also serves as my younger brother, who is also one of the people who, when I obviously started the scholarship in honor of our mom, and he thought it was a great idea. So he serves as the social media coordinator. And so we had quite a few people who had given on Tuesday, and we want to thank them very much. A lot of friends, a lot of other contacts, mentors who gave. It was really, really good. I'm super grateful for everyone who had given. So as far as we ended up, like you said, we had to change the direction of the scholarship because we just was not getting enough traction over at the Oak Creek Youth Correctional Center with the young ladies. I really wanted to stick there, but the money was just sitting there. And I'm like, I want to give the money away. I need to give it away. And there are students and folks who are in need. And so with that, we ended up changing the direction to fund any Black student who is or what plans to attend any community college in the state of Oregon. And so we were able to do that. And we received about, I think, 8 or 9 applications for this first cycle. And we ended up, we wanted to award 3, but it's so weird because the first person that we contacted and said, hey, congratulations. Or let me just step back. I am a professor at Lynn Benton, so obviously I'm a little biased and partial to my school. And so the first students I reached, the first 80 Black students, because that's all we have at Lynn Benton Community College, I reached out to them via email through our system called the Viso, and the dean of students was like, of course, I'll send this out and I'll go ahead and make it a filter for you. So anytime you need to communicate with our Black students, you have a filter to do that directly. Okay. And so we sent that out in September. And once we sent that out in September, we received, like I said, about 8 or 9 applications. So we had wanted to award 3, as I stated before. And the first person who we contacted was kind of like, well, who is this? Well, what did they say? I don't want the money. You can put it on my student account. I'm not sending you my address. I'm not sending you a photo for your social media pages. It was a very weird sort of response. And I thought, okay, all right, you know. And then after that, I had another student who I ended up awarding. Her name is Amal Mohammed. She is a dual enrolled student, meaning she is enrolled at Oregon State University and Lynn Benton Community College. And she was the one who got the award. She sent her photo right away. She was very gracious and grateful. And that is what we like to see. Her application was very impressive. She is a creative writing major with a psychology minor. And she spoke about how her parents or her family didn't want her to go to college and they didn't think that it was necessary. She said that she is the only person in her bloodline to ever enroll in a 4-year university. She talked about her struggles of being in college, and financially she has no help, and she's a DoorDash worker in between classes. She had a very impressive essay and a human story, and a story that we can all relate to as college students, former college students, as workers, as first generation folk, all of those great things. So she was very gracious. And again, I'm so incredibly proud of her and want to tell her to continue to keep up the good work. We also wanted to award another guy. His name was Lamar, but he never returned any of the emails. I called, left voice messages. When I called, he kept hanging up. So I don't know exactly what happened. So it looks like Ahmad is going to get all the money that they were supposed to get because she was the only one to apply, or not apply, the only one to respond with the information requested. And I am just, again, very proud of her. And this scholarship, like I said, is only for Black students who want to attend a community college in Oregon. And the reason why is because Black folks in general have been disenfranchised by all systems, and education being one of them. And because it's about 6% Black folks in the state of Oregon, and we actually lost about 300,000 Black people who relocated and moved out the state of Oregon. So that percentage has gone down this last census that we had an opportunity to take a look at. So this is crucial. It is crucial. I love community. I've never attended a community college. Let me say that, but I've been working in them for the last 12 years. And when I was in high school, I was taking classes at a community college. So I do know what the impact is. And I love the fact that you can jumpstart your education in high school if you're at a community college, and it's affordable. Yes. Like this young lady, she's dual enrolled. She's taking some classes at LB, and she's enrolled at Oregon State University. You know, being able to provide that bridge for her, and see that, again, I'm just very, very touched. And so our next round of applications, because the deadline doesn't open, we give out scholarships 3 times. So we give it out for fall, winter, and spring terms. And so our next round we'll be giving out in March. And then after that, we'll give our next round in June. Yes, that's them all. Yes.
We have to have her on the show one day just to even tell her story.
Absolutely. I would definitely let her know that. I'll send her an email. She was so gracious and so appreciative. And that's what we like to see. That's what we like to hear. And she deserves it. She has an incredible story.
And I love how you said that community college would jumpstart, because a lot of people may think that, a bachelor's degree is the first thing that you have to get right out of high school. And I prefaced this story saying that there's nothing wrong with either going to a trade school and mastering a skill and then starting your own business, and or going to community college, even if you're not sure of, right out of high school, not everyone knows, say they want to be a lawyer or a doctor or something like that, and experience classes. And then once you find, okay, I'm good at X, Y, and Z, then to go on to, the next level if you choose to do so. And the scholarship that you're doing to help fund for Black students is amazing, because like you said, that the amount of education that Black students may get, not just only in Oregon, but statewide, is at a I don't want to say downfall, but it's nowhere near other ethnicities or races, and it's important to empower our own community. So I want to really preface by saying thank you so much. How can people apply for your scholarship? Right through your website?
Yes, if you go to drremicia.org, you can go right there to apply now. And at the bottom where it says, or the deadline for the scholarship is open, right there it says, be advised, scholarship applications reviewed during the fall term, which is September through November, will be awarded in December. And then scholarships reviewed during the winter term, January and March, will be awarded in April. Excuse me, I said March at first. And then scholarships being reviewed in the spring term, which is May through June, will be awarded in early September. So right when folks are going back to school for fall, and then when folks are coming out of going to winter break, and then spring when folks are coming off of spring break into April. And so there's only, it's a very basic application. I was talking to my brother because I feel like we need to put we had some multiple questions for the first application, because obviously we were asking young ladies to explain how the skills that they have gained in Oak Creek would transfer in LBCC. And so that is no longer a question. So now I just want to know about how your skills will transfer into the real world. So I may be doing some tweaks, because I'm a writer. I teach English and I love to read. And so, and it's a short application, but I believe in being concise. But I like depth. So sometimes I feel like some students or some folks just write it real quick, and one application
and be done with it.
One application received, the person was like, well, just call me if you have any questions. And I was like, huh? So this is a new world. And I would also like to say that we are currently in the midst of making this a nonprofit organization. And so by next year, or actually probably by the summer, I'm hoping, depending on how long the process is, this will be nonprofit. And so folks who would give would be able to write it off. And I am envisioning within the next, 10 years, that we'll have a Valencia Cooper Second Chance Scholarship Gala, and we'll be able to do all of that. I am super excited about what is to come. Our mom's birthday is January the 1st. And so this year she would have been 60. So this is a very important year, an important time. And can be a little bit sad around this time of the year, but because we're doing this in honor of her, has been very rewarding. And I'm just hoping to give even more scholarships. And the caveat is this, we're still on the fence, but we're thinking that we can tell people they can apply more than once. Like if you didn't get it, try again.
Okay, try again. Yeah.
If you didn't receive the award, try again, please.
Yeah. I love that you said the gala, because immediately what popped in my head as the name for it was Valencia Gala. It just sounds perfect, and it's in tribute to your mom and people. Oh, I love it. And you can have all the awardees. Well, yeah, awardees. winners like talk about it and their experience, and I see it. It's gonna happen.
And we're adding to the webpage. There will be a page for donors who have a list of people who have donated, and then a list of recipients. So that will be on the page coming soon, on the website coming soon. And I'm a one-woman show, so this is a lot of work that I didn't anticipate, but I'm really happy about it because it's good work. It's good work.
Yes. So I want to say thank you so much, Dr. McGhee, for coming onto our show today. We hope to have you again, and I wish you all the best.
Absolutely. Have a good one.
Sometimes a simple "how are you" is enough to make someone's day. Welcome to Community Health Check. The Huffington Post has an article that states California governor signs law to improve outcomes for Black birthing people and babies.
Medical racism is real, and it's kind of an ingrained thing that has happened over the course of centuries, so that still needs to be addressed, but still it is really helpful to have a professional doctor or healthcare person who just gets your cultural background, and you don't have to spend a lot of time explaining yourself.
And translating your traditions or your culture to somebody who isn't even trying to understand, that completely gets it.
It states Black women are 6 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women in California. California Governor Gavin Newsom signed new legislation meant to improve outcomes for birthing people and babies, and particularly for Black people who face disproportionately high rates of complications and deaths in pregnancy and during and after childbirth. The Democrat governor signed the bill called the California Momnibus Act in a virtual event, saying he was really proud of the bill, seeking to bring more data, more transparency, more accountability to the issue of prenatal and infant mortality, particularly for families of color. It is unacceptable that the maternal and infant mortality rate among Black and Indigenous communities remains significantly higher than the state average, the governor said. Across the U.S., Black women are 3 times more likely to die from pregnancy-related complications than white women. In California, the racial disparities are even starker, with Black women 6 times more likely to die within a year of pregnancy than white women. Black babies also die at a rate double the statewide average, noted State Senator Nancy Skinner, who introduced the bill earlier this year. And Native infants also die at higher rates than the state norm. The status quo cannot and will not continue, according to Dr. Akilah Weber, a state assembly member and co-author of the bill, who identified as a Black woman who has given birth 2 times. Guys, let me know about your thoughts on this. I am a preemie, and I was born 3 months early, 1 pound 5 ounces, and I think this is a 100% good step in the right direction. I think more states should follow suit. And I think it's necessary, especially for our community. And I was just talking about it to someone, the importance of us being recognized and understanding what is going on in our bodies. As a woman, as a Black woman, as a person of color, it is important for us to have the right health system, health education, and this is why I want to share it with you guys. We know our bodies best, and I've heard time and time again of numerous stories of Black women describing symptoms, describing what they're going through, and doctors not believing them. Hello, how are you? Welcome to our show. Welcome to UME Radio.
Hi, Jessie. You're doing such a great job. Thank you for having me. Well, I think it's good that they're signing laws to improve outcomes for Black birthing people and babies. There's a simple way to solve this problem, and I appreciate the law. But I think if we empower, if the Black community gets economic empowerment, some of these problems that we face, these problem of inequality or unequal treatment, would I don't think so much is the medical facilities. I think it's the lack of economic power. Why can't it be a health related solution? I just don't like. I think we need to move away from these labels, because I think these labels call segregate. I don't think it empowers us. Oh, Black people are 3 times more likely to, and so we need to have this solution. I think we should acknowledge that there is a problem, and then it should be a health issue, right? It's a health crisis. It's not a Black people crisis, it's a health crisis, and address it accordingly. So pass the laws that are necessary for this health crisis to be dealt with, as opposed to putting Black people's faces on it and their names on it. This is just my personal opinion. Sometimes it means economic empowerment, more fertility, or support.
Centers, right? More midwives.
Exactly, and that should be a health and community outreach project, not a Black people project.
Are you ready for the weekend?
Weekends on UME Radio. Get the UME Radio app.
Weekends on UME Radio. The sun is up, and so are we. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Instagram and Facebook, all at UME Radio.
UME Radio. Positive entertainment 24/7. Subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell.